Across the vast expanse of the galaxy, countless civilizations thrived. Some soared on wings of technology and diplomacy. Others clawed their way through harsh realities with grit and determination. Yet, among the stars, Earth was a whisper. A faint myth from a forgotten corner of the universe. For generations, the alien species of the nearby sectors dismissed every warning about Earth's hidden power as old tales or misinterpreted signals. On the rim of the Sol system, the moon Vesta had long been a quiet outpost, mostly ignored by the galactic community. Recent decades brought strange seismic readings, subtle tremors beneath its surface, unlike any natural phenomena recorded before. The Galactic survey team scanned and analyzed, but concluded these signals were inconsequential, easily explained by minor tectonic shifts. No threat. No need to divert resources, they decreed. But beneath Earth's crust, far more was unfolding in a sprawling underground laboratory near the Earth-Moon Lagrange point. Dr. Myra Kessler studied readings that baffled her team. Her voice, steady yet tinged with urgency, echoed through the sterile control room. These energy signatures aren't natural. They're artificial and growing stronger by the hour. Her colleagues exchanged uneasy glances. The world above remained unaware of what stirred below, the slow awakening of an ancient force long dormant. Humanity's history was richer than most knew, shaped not only by mortal hands, but by guardians hidden beneath the surface. Deep inside the planet's core, an immense presence stirred the Earthborn Titan, built by Earth's earliest civilizations in an age lost to time. The Titan was more than a machine. It was a living synthesis of biomechanical genius and human spirit, designed to protect the planet in times of dire need. Its power lay dormant for millennia, its existence relegated to legends whispered in ancient texts and dismissed by modern scholars as myth. But now, the seismic waves echoed a different truth. In orbit above Earth, satellites flickered as the Titan's energy began to pulse outward, interfacing with modern technology in unexpected ways. The signals disrupted communications, causing brief blackouts and mysterious readings. Some nations interpreted this as a glitch, but others suspected something greater. Despite warnings from Earth's scientific community, the galactic powers remained unconvinced. To them, Earth was a backwater and underdeveloped planet with no bearing on galactic affairs. No need for alarm, they said. Just another planet with geological quirks. On Earth, the political landscape was tense. Governments argued over how to respond to the growing phenomenon. Military officials advocated for caution and preparedness, while diplomats scrambled to downplay fears, fearing panic or exploitation. Yet, Dr. Kessler's team pushed forward, determined to uncover the truth. As the days passed, the energy signature grew stronger, synchronized with tremors increasing in frequency and intensity. Data pointed to a colossal force rising from deep within the planet, an entity impossible to ignore. One night, as the world slept unaware, the Earth's surface shook violently. Cities near fault lines experienced unprecedented tremors. Deep beneath the ground, the Titan began its ascent, breaking free from eons of slumber. The first sighting came from a remote outpost in Siberia, where ground-based sensors detected a massive shadow moving beneath the ice. Satellite imagery captured strange distortions. Eyewitnesses reported a low rumble, like the awakening of the Earth itself. News spread rapidly, but disbelief prevailed. Was this truly a guardian of old, or some natural disaster masked by technology? Across the stars, alien listeners caught the transmissions and data bursts from Earth's orbit and surface. Some dismissed them as mere noise, others as exaggerations. The galactic consensus was firm. Earth's disturbances were local and irrelevant. Back on Earth, Dr. Kessler's voice rose above the chaos during a global broadcast. We stand at the edge of a new chapter in human history. The Earthborn Titan is real. It is awakening to protect us from threats we have only begun to understand. To the galaxy, we say, do not ignore the Earth. We are more than you believe. Her words sparked hope, fear, and curiosity. The Titan beneath had awoken, and the galaxy would soon have to reckon with the truth. The world held its breath as the ground tremors intensified. The Earthborn Titan was no longer a whisper beneath the soil. It was becoming a presence impossible to ignore. Across continents, people watched the skies as sensors detected strange energy bursts and seismic waves spreading like ripples through the planet's crust deep beneath the surface. The Titan began to emerge. The massive biomechanical colossus, covered in plates of an unknown alloy and glowing faintly with pulsating energy, slowly pushed through layers of rock and magma. Its design was breathtaking, an ancient fusion of technology and organic elements, crafted with a sophistication that dwarfed anything modern engineers had ever seen. At the command center, Dr. Mira Kessler and her team monitored the awakening with a mixture of awe and concern. "It's moving faster than we expected," she said, eyes glued to the holographic projections. This is something beyond our technology, beyond our history. News outlets worldwide broadcast the event live. Governments scrambled to manage the panic while simultaneously trying to understand the Titan's purpose. For centuries, Earth's myths about giant protectors were dismissed as fantasy. Now, the ancient stories were proving to be terrifyingly real. As the Titan breached the surface in the Pacific Ocean, massive waves crashed along coastlines, flooding cities and forcing evacuations. But the creature itself showed no hostility. Instead, it stood tall, scanning the skies, its sensors projecting an aura of both power and vigilance. Humanity's leaders faced a dilemma. Should they attempt to communicate with the Titan or prepare for defense against a potential threat? Meanwhile, across the galaxy, sensors picked up the emergence. Alien governments, once indifferent to Earth, suddenly shifted their focus. Speculation ran rampant. Was this a weapon, a threat, or something else entirely? In the midst of uncertainty, a message was broadcast from Earth's new giant. The Titan emitted a series of complex signals, which Dr. Kessler's team worked tirelessly to decode. Slowly, patterns emerged in ancient Earth language mixed with advanced technology. The message was clear. The Titan was a guardian, designed to protect Earth and its people from dangers lurking in the cosmos. On Earth, Marcus Voss, a decorated veteran and now the Titan's chosen pilot, stood before the towering machine. Trained for decades in both combat and diplomacy, Marcus represented humanity's resolve and hope. His mission was clear: bond with the Titan, understand its full capabilities, and prepare for the challenges ahead. As Marcus entered the cockpit, nestled deep within the Titan's chest, he felt the hum of ancient power resonate through the controls. The interface responded intuitively, as if recognizing him as more than just a pilot, almost as if it had been waiting. With a final check, Marcus activated the Titan. The ground beneath vibrated with renewed strength. The Earthborn Titan was awake and humanity's time had come. Far from Earth, the alien leaders convened urgently. They had dismissed Earth's legends as primitive for too long. But now the undeniable proof stood before them, a force of nature and technology unlike any other. Some feared it, others coveted it, but none could ignore it. The Earthborn Titan had awoken, and the galaxy was about to change forever. The world watched in stunned silence as the Earthborn Titan towered over the Pacific coastline, its colossal frame silhouetted against the rising sun. News networks broadcast images from every corner of the globe. The legend of humanity's ancient guardian made real in breathtaking detail. Governments declared states of emergency, while ordinary citizens grappled with awe, fear, and hope. But the awakening of the Titan was not Earth's secret for long. Far beyond the Sol system, Across the void where light years stretched like endless deserts, alien species who had long dismissed Earth stories as mere folklore suddenly had undeniable proof. The powerful energy signatures detected from the Titan rippled through galactic communications, setting off alarms and whispers in diplomatic chambers. The Zevra Dominion, a dominant force known for their rigid hierarchy and tactical prowess, convened an emergency council. Their advisors warned that humanity, long overlooked and underestimated, might suddenly possess a weapon that could upset the fragile balance of power. Emissaries from the Zevra and other galactic factions arrived at Earth's orbit with cautious curiosity. Their ships, advanced and imposing, formed a circle around the Earth-Moon system. A silent question posed to the humans below. What is this Earthborn Titan? And what do you intend to do with it? On Earth, the world's leaders prepared to respond. The arrival of alien vessels marked a turning point, a moment that could lead to alliance or annihilation. Marcus Voss, newly appointed commander of the Titan, stood ready to make history. In a historic broadcast, Earth's spokesperson addressed the galaxy. We are not a threat. The Earthborn Titan is a protector, built by our ancestors to guard our planet and people. We extend a hand in peace and cooperation. The alien delegates listened, some skeptical, others intrigued. The Zevra commander, Thalon, stepped forward during the negotiations. His voice was calm but firm. Legends rarely become reality. Your Titan is impressive, but it raises questions. Why did Earth awaken this weapon now? A Taurus you face that the galaxy has not seen. Marcus answered with steady conviction. The galaxy is vast, and dangers often hide in the dark. We did not awaken the Titan lightly. We seek to protect not just Earth, but all life that cherishes freedom and peace. The alien councils debated for days, divided between fear, curiosity, and respect. Some saw Earth's Titan as a potential alliance, as a challenge to the established order. Meanwhile, scientists and engineers aboard alien ships scrambled to analyze the Titan's technology. The fusion of organic and mechanical components. The ancient Earth language embedded in its systems defied their expectations and understanding. Back on Earth, Marcus forged relationships not just in diplomacy, but in mutual respect and trust. He invited select alien commanders to witness the Titan's capabilities firsthand, demonstrating defensive maneuvers and non-lethal power. The demonstration stunned even the most cynical observers. The Titan's strength, agility, and self-repair systems hinted at an advanced civilization long forgotten by galactic history. Earth was no longer a myth, was a rising power. But beneath the diplomatic calm, tension simmered. Rival factions watched closely, wary of the shifting balance. Whispers of conspiracy and preparation for possible conflict spread quietly as the dust settled. One thing was clear: humanity had arrived. The Earthborn Titan was a symbol of human resilience, ingenuity, and hope. It had turned the tide of galactic perception, forcing ancient powers to reconsider the once dismissed planet. The legends were real. The myths had awakened, and humanity's story was just beginning. Despite the awe and shock that the Earthborn Titan had inspired across the galaxy, many remained skeptical of humanity's claims. Alien leaders, bound by centuries of tradition and political rivalries, dismissed the warnings that came with the Titan's awakening as little more than desperate posturing. The tales of a lurking cosmic threat seemed like the stuff of ancient myth, exaggerated to rally support and secure alliances. Back on Earth, Marcus Voss and Dr. Mira Kessler worked tirelessly to decode and interpret the data streaming from the Titan's sensors. Their discoveries painted a grim picture. A dark force, dormant for eons, was stirring beyond the known reaches of the galaxy. A vast entity, capable of consuming entire star systems, was moving steadily closer. This is not just a threat to Earth, Mira said during a tense briefing with Earth's Defense Council. It's a danger to all civilizations. We must act before it's too late. Yet the galactic community remained divided. Many powerful factions viewed the warning as an excuse for Earth to assert influence. Others feared provoking a conflict they were unprepared for. Diplomatic channels buzzed with arguments, accusations, and dismissals. Meanwhile, the Titan stood vigilant on Earth's surface, a silent sentinel against a threat few yet understood. Marcus felt the heavy burden of his role not just as a warrior, but as a messenger bearing a warning that many refused to heed. Alien fleets continued their maneuvers around Earth's system, testing the limits of their new rival. Some attempted to intimidate, others to observe, but none truly grasped the urgency behind humanity's plea for unity. One faction, Araxian Syndicate, saw an opportunity in the confusion. They began secret preparations to exploit the looming crisis for their gain, building weapons and alliances in the shadows. Their distrust of Earth and the Titan fueled a dangerous gamble. On Earth, Marcus and Mira sought allies among the more open-minded factions. They shared evidence from the Titan scans images of a swirling, dark mass moving through interstellar space, engulfing stars and leaving nothing behind. Slowly, a few began to listen. The elders of the Quarren Council, known for their wisdom and long memory, recognized echoes of ancient warnings in Earth's message. They agreed to send envoys to Earth, signaling a fragile hope for cooperation. Yet for every voice raised in support, others drowned it out with skepticism or outright hostility. Galactic politics tangled with fear, pride, and old grudges. As days turned to weeks, the dark entity's approach accelerated. Sensor arrays picked up increasing gravitational disturbances and bursts of unknown energy. The shadows lengthened across star charts. Marcus stood atop the Titan's massive shoulder, gazing into the night sky. "They think we exaggerate," he said quietly to Mira, "but the darkness is coming. We have to be ready no matter what." Mira nodded, her eyes reflecting both determination and worry. "If we don't unite, this darkness will consume everything. Earth, the galaxy, we all face the same fate." The warning was clear. The threat was real. And yet the galaxy hesitated. But time was running out. The Earthborn Titan, ancient guardian and symbol of humanity's resilience, prepared to lead a charge that might save more than just one world. It was a race against the darkness. The calm before the storm shattered abruptly. Sensors blared alarms as the Varaxian Syndicate's fleet, a ruthless armada of heavily armed warships, suddenly surged toward Earth's orbit. Their ships cut through the void with precision and aggression, clearly testing humanity's defenses and the power of the Earthborn Titan. Marcus Voss, seated inside the Titan's cockpit, felt a familiar surge of adrenaline. This was more than a test. It was a challenge, a declaration that the galaxy's skeptics were not ready to accept Earth's rise. "Battle stations," Marcus ordered. His voice was steady but commanding. The Titan systems hummed in response, activating defensive shields and weapon arrays designed to rival the deadliest technology across the stars. Outside, the alien armada spread wide, firing volleys of plasma and energy missiles. The Titan absorbed the first waves with its layered armor, advanced nanoshield flickering like a living force. Then, with calculated precision, it retaliated. The battle was a spectacular display of power and strategy. The Titan moved with surprising agility for its size, weaving between enemy fire and striking back with devastating energy blasts and seismic strikes. Each blow sent shockwaves through space, disabling several Syndicate vessels in rapid succession. On board the flagship of the Varaxian fleet, commanders watched in disbelief. This Earthborn Titan is unlike anything we expected. It's not just brute force, it's tactical genius. Marcus's team coordinated every move, leveraging human ingenuity with the Titan's ancient technology. Despite the overwhelming odds, their defense held firm. They shielded Earth and sent a clear message. Humanity was not to be underestimated. But the battle was not without cost. The Syndicate unleashed a secret weapon, a massive energy cannon designed to cripple the Titan. The blast struck hard, rocking the Colossus and forcing Marcus to push the systems to their limits to stabilize. With grit and determination, Marcus countered with a risky maneuver, harnessing the Titan's core energy. He unleashed a concentrated pulse that disabled the cannon and crippled the Syndicate's flagship. The Armada faltered, morale shaken. Some ships retreated, others were captured or destroyed. The once confident invaders faced the undeniable truth. Earth's Guardian was a force to be reckoned with. In the aftermath, alien emissaries from various factions approached Earth's command center. The spectacle of the battle shifted perceptions. Overnight, it's no longer a myth, no longer a curiosity. The Earthborn Titan had proven its worth in the harshest test. Marcus stepped down from the cockpit, his uniform marked with the dust of battle, but his spirit unbroken. This was just the beginning, he told Earth's leaders. If we want peace, we must prepare for what's coming, and that means standing united. The Varaxian Syndicate's aggression had been a warning. The galaxy was watching, and old rivalries threatened to erupt into open conflict. Yet, the Titan's triumph also inspired hope, a sign that unity could overcome even the greatest divides across the stars. News of the battle spread rapidly. The legend of the Earthborn Titan grew, reshaping alliances and forcing hesitant powers to reconsider their stance toward humanity back on Earth. Marcus and Dr. Myra Kessler worked side by side, preparing for the next phase. They knew the dark cosmic force was still advancing. The battle with the Syndicate was a prelude, a reminder that greater threats loomed on the horizon as the dust settled and the world exhaled in relief. The Titan stood ready, watchful, powerful, and determined, because the real fight was only just beginning. The galaxy had seen the Earthborn Titan's power, but it was only the opening act. Beyond the familiar stars, in the uncharted darkness known as the Void, a greater threat stirred, ancient, relentless, and indifferent to the petty politics of lesser civilizations. Sensors aboard the Titan and allied vessels detected the ominous signals, first waves of energy unlike anything recorded before, a creeping shadow that seemed to consume light itself. This was the harbinger of the cosmic entity Dr. Myra Kessler and Marcus Voss had warned about, a colossal force of destruction, moving through the galaxy, leaving nothing but silence in its wake. In the war room on Earth, tension hung thick. In the air, leaders from Earth and their new allies gathered around holographic displays projecting the advancing darkness. The weight of inevitability pressed on every face. "We can no longer ignore it," Myra said, voice steady but urgent. "This entity doesn't just threaten Earth, threatens every star system in its path." Marcus nodded grimly. "Our battle with the Syndicate was just the beginning. Now we face the true storm." Despite the urgency, cracks appeared in the fragile coalition. Some alien factions, unwilling to jeopardize their interests, debated retreat or isolation. Others argued for immediate offensive action. But no one fully grasped the magnitude of what they faced. Meanwhile, the Titans. Sensors revealed something terrifying. The cosmic entity was not merely a destructive force, was intelligent. It adapted to attacks, learned from every encounter, and seemed to anticipate the defender's moves. On board the Titan, Marcus studied the creature's movements. Each encounter left scars, yet the entity pressed onward. It was as if the darkness itself hungered for something beyond mere annihilation. Myra and her team worked frantically to uncover ancient Earth's knowledge texts, artifacts, and data buried deep in history. Their hope was to find clues about how the Titan had been built, why it had remained dormant, and how it might defeat this unprecedented menace. As the cosmic shadow crept closer, strange phenomena appeared on Earth. Night skies flickered with eerie lights, electromagnetic storms disrupted technology, and wildlife reacted with unusual behavior. It was as if the planet itself felt the approach of something terrible. One night, Marcus stood beside the Titan's colossal foot, gazing up at the stars. "We're the last line of defense," he said quietly to Myra, who joined him. "We have to believe we can stop this," Myra replied. "Or at least buy time for others to prepare." Suddenly, the Titan systems detected a massive wave of energy rushing in from the void. The cosmic entity had arrived in the outskirts of the Sol system. The battle lines were drawn, with little time to spare. Earth and its allies mobilized their fleets, rallying behind the Titan. Marcus prepared for what could be the most critical fight of his life. The shadows of the void were no longer distant legends or warnings. They were here, and humanity's fate, along with the galaxies, depended on the Earthborn Titan's strength and the unity it inspired. The void had arrived. Darkness spilled over the edges of the Sol system like an ink stain spreading relentlessly across a pristine canvas. The cosmic entity, immense, shifting mass of shadow and energy, advanced with terrifying inevitability. It moved not like a mindless force, but as a predator aware of its prey, probing defenses, testing the resolve of every ship, every weapon, every shield in Earth's command center. Marcus Voss tightened his grip on the Titan's controls. His eyes scanned every readout, every incoming alert. The massive machine stood ready, its towering form a beacon of humanity's resilience and hope. "All units, prepare for engagement," Marcus commanded. "This is the moment we've trained for." The Allied fleets, a coalition of human and alien vessels united by urgency, formed a defensive perimeter around Earth. Energy beams and missile barrages lit up space, engaging tendrils of the shadowy mass as it lunged forward. But the entity adapted quickly. It twisted and reshaped itself, absorbing attacks and retaliating with devastating bursts of dark energy that disabled several Allied ships. One by one, ships began to falter, their crews scrambling to maintain control amid cascading system failures. The Titan moved into the heart of the conflict. Marcus maneuvered with precision, unleashing focused energy blasts that tore through the entity's tendrils, but each strike was met with resistance. The creature seemed almost to anticipate the Titan's moves, shifting its form with uncanny speed. Inside the cockpit, Marcus's mind raced. "It's learning faster than we can adapt," he muttered. The interface pulsed with feedback damage warnings, system strain, energy fluctuations. Beside him, Dr. Mira Kessler's voice crackled through the comms. "Marcus, listen carefully. We're analyzing the data from the last engagement. The entity's core appears to be vulnerable to synchronized energy pulses at specific frequencies. If we coordinate, the Titan can deliver a decisive blow." Marcus's jaw tightened. "Coordinate with who?" "The fleets are stretched thin. Earth's ships, alien allies. We have to unite our firepower. The Titan can lead the charge, but we need everything focused together." The weight of responsibility pressed down, but Marcus nodded. "Understood," initiating sync sequence. Across the battlefield, ships scrambled to align their weapons. For a brief moment, hope sparked a unified front against the creeping darkness. The Titan unleashed its pulse, a concentrated wave of energy that rippled through the entity. The shadow shrieked and recoiled, its form fracturing briefly under the assault. Victory seemed within reach. Then, the unthinkable happened. From the depths of the entity, a new force emerged, massive jagged shard of dark energy that erupted toward the Titan. The counterattack struck with overwhelming power, smashing the Titan's shield and sending Marcus's cockpit into chaos. Alarms blared as systems failed, controls lagged, and the Titan staggered. Marcus fought to stabilize the machine, sweat pouring down his face. The entity was pushing back harder than ever. On Earth, the news of the Titan's critical damage spread rapidly. Fear gripped millions watching, hoping against hope. But Marcus refused to give in. "Not yet," he growled. "We're not done." Summoning every ounce of skill and willpower, Marcus rerouted power to the Titan's core and weapons. The ancient machine pulsed with renewed strength, rising to face the enemy again. With Myra's guidance, the Titan coordinated a final, devastating strike. A synchronized barrage from Earth and allied ships combined with the Titan's own energy. Surge, the entity shrieked as it shattered, fragments of shadow dissolving into the void. The darkness receded. Retreating beyond the edges of the known galaxy, the battlefield grew silent. The cost had been high: ships lost, systems damaged, lives forever changed. But Earth had stood firm. Marcus slumped back, exhausted but victorious. "We held the line," he said softly. Myra smiled through the comms. "The galaxy will never doubt Earth again." But as the stars twinkled above, both knew the battle was far from over. The cosmic threat was only one part of a larger story, a story that humanity and the galaxy would have to face together. The breaking point had passed. The fight for the future had only just begun. The stars had quieted. The cosmic entity, once an unstoppable force of destruction, had been driven back into the abyss from which it emerged. The galaxy breathed a collective sigh of relief, yet the scars of battle remained on ships, on worlds, and in the hearts of those who had fought. On Earth, the Titan stood battered but unbowed, a colossal guardian silhouetted against the horizon. Its immense frame bore the marks of war-scorched marks, dents and shattered panels, but its eyes glowed steadily with the promise of resilience. Marcus Voss stepped down from the cockpit for the first time since the battle. Exhaustion weighed heavy, yet a fierce pride burned within him. Around him, the world watched as humanity's ancient protector embodied the spirit of a species. Once dismissed as myths and legends, in the weeks that followed, the galaxy's perspective on Earth shifted irrevocably. Where once there was skepticism, now there was respect and a growing desire for cooperation. The Titan's victory had rewritten the rules, showing that humanity was not only a survivor, but a vital player in the cosmic arena. Leaders from distant star systems traveled to Earth, extending hands of alliance. Joint efforts began: scientific exchanges, defense treaties, cultural sharing, bridging gaps that had long divided civilizations. Dr. Myra Kessler stood beside Marcus during a ceremony honoring the Titan and those who defended Earth. "This is more than a victory," she said. "It's a new beginning." Marcus nodded. The Titan was built to protect, but it's also a symbol of what humanity can accomplish when we stand united. But amid the celebrations, Marcus and Myra knew vigilance was essential. The darkness might have retreated, but it had not been destroyed. The cosmic entity was still out there, lurking in the void. A reminder that peace was fragile. Back at the Titan's core, engineers worked to repair and upgrade the ancient machine. New technology melded with old, blending Earth's ingenuity with the wisdom encoded by ancestors long gone. The Titan would be ready, not just as a weapon of war, but as a guardian of hope. In classrooms, children learned of the Titan's awakening and the courage of those who fought. Stories of humanity's rise spread, inspiring a new generation to dream beyond Earth's borders. On distant worlds, Earth's new allies looked to the Titan as a symbol of unity against the unknown, a beacon shining through the vast darkness of space. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Marcus gazed once more at the Titan's towering silhouette. The future was uncertain, filled with challenges yet to come. But he felt a profound certainty. Humanity was no longer a myth, it was a force, and the legacy of the Earthborn Titan would echo across the stars. For as long as there were those willing to fight for light in the darkness,